How to pass your private pilot check ride. Number 1, overtrain. I know this sounds like simple advice, but it is often overlooked. What do I mean by overtrain? You want to train to such a high standard that the flight test is actually the easy part. If the standard for the flight test is plus or minus 10 degrees, and the airspeed is plus 10 knots, minus 5 knots, you want to train to about half of that. You want to train where the heading that you hold is plus or minus 5 degrees, and the airspeed is plus 2 knots, minus 0 knots. My flight instructor pushed me to train to that standard, and when I was a flight instructor, I did the same thing. You want to be so prepared that when you walk into that flight test, you want to feel like when you take that examiner flying, it feels like just another flight with your own flight instructor.
I know what some of you might be saying. Well, Keith, it's going to take me a little bit longer then to get to my flight test.
Sure, it'll take you a little bit longer, but you'll be that much more prepared so that you'll pass it on the first try, and you'll be a much better pilot overall. Trust me. Take your time, train properly, and then go for the flight test when you are fully ready. Number 2, prepare the night before. Complete your navigation log with all the track distances and the forecast winds inputted the night before. Sharpen your pencil, get your flight computer, your headset, your ruler, everything packed into your flight bag, ready to go the night before. You won't believe how many students I've seen show up the day of the flight test a few hours before and try to complete all of their navigational log paperwork and get their maps organized for the examiner to arrive. What happens is that the student is usually mentally exhausted by the time the flight test even begins. Now, a flight test can seem like a long day, so you want to ensure that you're well rested and prepared, and the only way to do so is to do that the night before. Number 3, relax. Yes, relax. It's important to know that the examiner is not out to get you. All the examiner is doing is just observing to see that you know what you know and that it meets the standards. Yes, there are some examiners who seem intimidating just by their very nature. They might not smile as much, or they might take a lot of notes down, and it might seem like as though they're writing something bad about you. What you want to do is to not care about any of that. Just focus on being your best self. Give the examiner as much information, if not more information, than what they ask for. That way they know that you know what you're doing. I always encourage my students to take a few deep breaths whenever they're feeling stressed out. In fact, I do this myself till this very day. If I'm in a testing environment where I'm the one being tested, I like to take a few deep breaths when things get a little stressful, like so. Trust me, you do a few of those and it really calms yourself down. Alright guys, those are my 3 tips on how to pass a check ride. If you like this type of videos, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. Take care.